What's up, Wrestle Scope Nation? Before we dive into the absolute madness that went down after Survivor Series, I need you to do me a favor, because what I'm about to tell you is going to make your blood boil, and WWE is hoping you don't talk about this. Seth Rollins is back, but here's the thing that nobody's talking about. He didn't just return to a hero's welcome. Oh no, what happened backstage has reportedly caused a rift so deep that it's threatening to tear apart everything we thought we knew about the current WWE landscape. And when Roman Reigns found out about Drew McIntyre joining the OTC's vision, let's just say the Tribal Chief's reaction tells us everything about where this company is heading, and it's not what you think. Hit that like button right now because we're about to expose what WWE doesn't want you to see. You know what makes me absolutely furious? The way WWE thinks we're all just going to sit here and accept their narrative without questioning anything. Seth Rollins returns after Survivor Series, and instead of this being the feel-good moment we all deserved, backstage reports are painting a picture of complete chaos. Sources are saying, and WWE has been desperately trying to keep this quiet, that multiple superstars confronted management about Seth's positioning upon his return. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is what's going to make you want to scream in the comments section. While Seth was supposedly causing this backstage uproar, Roman Reigns was dealing with his own crisis. Drew McIntyre, the same Drew McIntyre who has made it his life's mission to destroy everything Roman stands for, just aligned himself with the vision. And Roman's reaction? It wasn't anger. It wasn't rage. According to insiders, it was something far more calculated. Now, before half of you start typing, "This is fake news," in the comments, stick with me, because the connections I'm about to make are going to blow your mind, and it explains exactly why WWE is pushing certain narratives while hiding others. Drop a comment right now telling me, are you Team Seth or Team Roman? Because after this video, you might just change your answer. Let's rewind to Survivor Series. The event ends, the cameras stop rolling, and everyone thinks the night is over. But according to multiple sources close to the situation, that's when the real drama began. Seth Rollins walks through the curtain for the first time in months. You'd think there would be celebrations, right? Hugs from fellow superstars, management congratulating him on his return? Wrong. Reports indicate that Seth immediately went into a closed-door meeting with Triple H and other WWE executives. The meeting lasted over an hour. And here's the kicker. Several top stars were reportedly left out of this meeting, despite them being directly affected by Seth's return storyline. Can you imagine the frustration? You're a top guy on the roster. You've been carrying the company while Seth's been gone, and suddenly he walks back in and gets preferential treatment? That's not just bad business. That's a recipe for backstage chaos. One unnamed superstar allegedly told staff members, "We've been here grinding every single week, and he just waltzes back in like he owns the place." Now, WWE can deny this all they want, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Now, let's talk about the bombshell that has everyone talking. Drew McIntyre joining the Vision? This isn't just any alignment. This is Drew McIntyre, the Scottish warrior, the man who has spent the last year making Roman Reigns' life miserable, suddenly standing alongside the Tribal Chief's faction? Something doesn't add up, and Roman knows it. Sources close to Roman's camp say that when he first heard about Drew's potential involvement with the Vision, his exact words were, "Keep your enemies closer." But here's the twist that nobody's talking about. What if Roman wanted this? Think about it. Roman Reigns is the master manipulator. He's the ultimate strategist. Drew McIntyre joining the Vision might not be a betrayal of their rivalry. It might be Roman's way of controlling the one man who has consistently been a thorn in his side. And when you factor in the timing of Seth's return, suddenly we're looking at a collision course that's going to redefine WWE for the next year. Roman's reported reaction wasn't public anger or a Twitter rant. According to insiders, he simply smiled and said, "Let him come." That's the reaction of a man who's 5 steps ahead of everyone else. Comment below, is Roman playing 4D chess, or is he walking into a trap? Here's where things get really interesting, and this is the part that's going to make you question everything you've seen on WWE TV lately. Multiple sources, and I'm talking about people who have been in the industry for decades, are reporting that Seth's return has created a domino effect backstage. We're talking about disrupted storylines, reshuffled creative plans, and several superstars being told their pushes are being put on hold. One of the biggest casualties, reportedly a major championship program that was supposed to culminate at the Royal Rumble, has been completely scrapped. Why? To make room for Seth's return storyline. Now, I'm not saying Seth doesn't deserve a major program. The man is a generational talent and one of the best in-ring performers of our era. But the way this was handled has allegedly created resentment among the locker room. There are whispers of heated discussions between talent and producers, stories of superstars voicing their frustrations about the double standard in how returning stars are treated versus those who've been there week in and week out. And the craziest part, some wrestlers are reportedly aligning themselves into 2 camps, those who support Seth's return and positioning, and those who feel it's unjust. This isn't just storyline drama, this is real-life tension that's threatening to spill over onto our screens. Now, let's connect all these dots, because this is where the real story emerges. Seth returns and causes backstage chaos. Drew joins the Vision, making Roman's empire stronger on paper, but potentially more volatile in reality. And according to sources, these 2 situations are not unrelated. Here's the theory that's gaining traction among industry insiders. Seth's return was accelerated specifically because of Drew's alignment with the Vision. WWE knew they needed a counterbalance, someone who could stand toe-to-toe with an empowered Roman Reigns and who has the credibility to question Drew's sudden turn. Who better than Seth Rollins, the man who has history with both Roman and Drew, the architect, the revolutionary, the man who once broke up the Shield? Roman's reaction to Drew joining the Vision suddenly makes more sense. He wasn't surprised, he was expecting it. Because if the rumors are true, Roman might have orchestrated Drew's addition specifically to draw out Seth Rollins. Think about Roman's character. He doesn't just win battles, he wins wars. And you don't win wars without sacrificing pawns. Could Drew be Roman's sacrifice to bring Seth back into his orbit? To finish what they started years ago? The backstage chaos Seth allegedly caused? That might have been exactly what Roman wanted. Divide and conquer. Create instability. And when everyone's fighting each other, the tribal chief stands tall above it all. Let's talk about what this means for WWE moving forward, because the implications are massive. If these backstage reports are accurate, we're looking at a locker room that's more divided than it's been in years. That kind of tension either creates incredible television or it leads to a toxic work environment that affects the product. The fact that Roman seems to be orchestrating events from behind the scenes, whether that's storyline or reality, shows just how much power and influence he wields. The tribal chief isn't just a character anymore. He's a force that shapes the entire WWE landscape. Seth's return adds gasoline to an already burning fire. His presence alone shifts the power dynamics. And with Drewing the Vision, we've got a powder kid situation that's ready to explode at any moment. Royal Rumble is coming, WrestleMania season is approaching, and if WWE is smart, and we know Triple H is a genius at long-term storytelling, they're going to use this real-life tension to create the most compelling storylines we've seen in years. But here's my concern, and tell me if you agree in the comments. When backstage politics start affecting the on-screen product, when real-life resentment bleeds into storylines, that's when things can go off the rails. We've seen it before in wrestling history. The Montreal Screwjob, the Curtain Call, the PM Punk situation. When real life and kayfabe blurred too much, nobody wins. Wrestle Scope Nation, we are living in the most unpredictable era of WWE in recent memory. Seth Rollins is back, and whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that his return has shaken WWE to its core. The backstage chaos is real, the tension is palpable, and Roman Reigns is sitting on his throne watching it all unfold according to his master plan. Drew McIntyre joining the Vision isn't just a storyline twist, it's a game changer that's going to have repercussions for months, possibly years to come. So here's what I need from you right now. Smash that like button if you think Seth's return is the best thing that could have happened to WWE. If you think he's shaking things up in exactly the right way. But if you think Seth is causing unnecessary drama and disrupting the flow that WWE had going, drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me why you think his return is bad for business. And speaking of comments, I need to know, who do you think is the real puppet master here? Is it Roman Reigns, orchestrating everything from behind the scenes? Is it Triple H, pulling strings to create the most compelling storylines? Or is it Seth Rollins, using his return as leverage to reshape WWE in his image? Comment your theories right now. The wildest theory gets pinned. If you're not subscribed to Wrestle Scope yet, what are you waiting for? We're covering all the backstage drama, all the rumors, and all the breaking news that the mainstream wrestling media is too afraid to talk about. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single update. And here's a question for my next video, because your engagement drives the content. Do you think we're heading toward a Shield reunion or a Shield destruction at WrestleMania? Let me know, because I'm reading every comment. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know who's still sleeping on the real drama happening in WWE. They need to wake up and see what's really going on. Until next time, Wrestle Scope Nation, stay locked in, stay skeptical of the narratives WWE wants you to believe, and never stop questioning what you see on your screen. This is Wrestle Scope, and I'll see you in the next one.